throughout the study to sleep it out to dream. Now, the reasons for this study were to answer the question about whether REM sleep is important to us psychologically or physiologically.
So, the hypothesis in this study states that the more frequent someone is waking up or interrupted from their REM sleep, the more their body will try to make up for the REM sleep that they lost.
In this experiment, a certain population was selected to test this hypothesis. They were first exposed to control conditions where they are allowed to sleep normally uninterrupted. Then they were exposed to experimental conditions which were set up to test the hypothesis. The independent variable in this experiment was the ability to enter in REM sleep or not. The dependent variable in this experiment was the body's frequency of attempts to enter in REM sleep.
So the procedures for this study included 8 males who were between the ages of 23 to 32. There were not any women in this study because it was in the 1950s where women didn't have too many rights just yet. For the first few nights, the test subjects were allowed to sleep normally uninterrupted, and this was to establish baseline sleeping patterns. Following those nights, the test subjects then entered a phase where they would be interrupted at the beginning of their dreams. The test subjects then had to sit fully up in bed before they were allowed to go back to sleep. After the sleep deprivation nights, the test subjects entered a recovery phase, and during the recovery phase, they were allowed to sleep normally. Several weeks later, the test subjects came back for another series of sleep, dream, interrupted nights. But this time, they were interrupted at the conclusion of their dreams.
The results to this experiment were just as interesting as the experiment itself. The more the test subjects got interrupted during their sleep, the more their body tried to make up for that REM sleep loss and tried to go more into the REM sleep. In fact, the amount of times the testers had to wake up their test subjects went from 11 to 22 times, and each time the test subjects were woken up indicates when their body was trying to go into REM sleep. Also, the average time spent in REM sleep went from 80 minutes to 112.
We all dream, and if we are somehow prevented from dreaming one night, we will dream better the next day. The significance of this study is that when one is deprived of REM sleep, they will tend to dream more the next night. An example can be shown that students that have more REM sleep will do better in school. They will be more healthier, and they would be less stressful.